A.X.L, or A.X.L, I don't really know because they say both in the film, so I don't know what to call this movie. Whatever it may be, is a movie about this robotic dog that's built for military uses, and these two teenagers discover it, and now there's this government conspiracy where they want to bring the dog in, see how it works and interacts with human beings, while there's other stuff going on. This movie got no promotion. There's barely any reviews out. This movie is officially out. There was no embargo on this movie. So, me reviewing this movie, I think, has to do with the fact that there's little to no promotion / reviews out there for this movie. The fact that I got back from Florida, I didn't get to see everything this weekend. Barely anything, honestly. So I decided when I got back, I took a nap, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go catch a movie. I don't know what this movie's even about. So I just decided to watch it, and my God. Holy shit. I don't know if it's because I was so tired, because I woke up at 4:45 to catch a flight from Florida back to Boston at 7:30, but my God, this movie, There's so much to talk about with this movie. There's one thing I liked, and that was the dog. The robot dog itself. It wasn't as cool as I had hoped, but it's easily the best part of the movie. It can pick up hostile targets. It really does nothing, but it's the most looking at it and just being like, you know what? Even though you're a robot, it's a dog. And dogs are man's best friend. So, yeah, it's the best part of the movie. You kind of have to watch this movie to understand what's going on. Other than that, this movie is just complete ass. It's all over the place. This movie doesn't have a focus on narrative. There's so much going on in this movie that it's got so little time, and it's got two main things it's focusing on. The biggest issue with this movie is that it could have been a much darker, more mature movie of this type, but instead it's some family drama about teenage angst and romance, and no, I don't want to see that with this type of movie. You could have made something so much better when the government conspiracy stuff is actually going down. I'm not going to say it's interesting, but I mean, that's where I was like, yeah, just stick with that. You should have just stuck with that. And I'll talk about more of that in a minute. But it's just like, why did this focus so much on being a teenage angst romance drama movie when it could have been so much more? This movie honestly just felt like a discount version of Transformers, the first one, not any of the sequels, because the sequels suck. And if you look at this, the writer of this movie, this is based on a short, and I heard the short is really good. The short is called Miles. This is a remake of that, just adapted into a movie, and it doesn't really touch upon everything that it wants to say. It doesn't do a good job of conveying its message. That's the biggest issue with this movie. That, along with the fact that this is just a teenage romance angst drama, are the biggest issues with this movie. Also, the acting in this is very bland. You have Thomas Jane. Oh my God, what is Thomas Jane doing in this movie? The Punisher himself is in this movie. What is he doing here? He is very flat in this movie. He gave a better performance at Comic-Con when I met him 2 years ago, when he was chomping on a cigar and was like, howdy, than he did in this movie. He did a better performance at Comic-Con, and he wasn't even acting. The main kid in this movie, I don't even really care what his actor's name is. I don't know. I didn't even IMDb him. But he is very, very bland. His delivery is really off. It is not very good, and he doesn't have any emotion. He doesn't express any emotion on him. It's just some weird smile, or just a very blank stare, and then he does this with his shoulders. His shoulders look really tight. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, did you just walk onto a film set and be like, yeah, I'm poor, I need a job, and they're like, okay, here you go, here's $20,000. Okay, cool, thank you. That's what it felt like. Becky G is in this movie, and I gotta say right now, her performance isn't that good either, but Becky G is Michael Bade in this movie. Now, when I say Michael Bade, what does that mean? She's got long, straight, black or blonde hair. She's got revealing clothing that cuts off right at the belly button. And she's got hoop earrings and big red lipstick. That's Michael banging somebody. She looks like a supermodel in this movie. This is a family movie. This is supposed to be made for kids. Yet she's over there looking like a huge whore. What the? Nice message to send to kids. Michael Bay in this movie. And speaking of these actors, the characters they're portraying have nothing to them. I don't care about Miles as a character. I certainly don't care about Becky G's character. What the hell does she play? She has nothing. She's just there to look pretty. Just there, stand there, look pretty. I mean, she does some drawings. That's it. That's the only ounce of character development we have. It's just like, oh, she's hot and she draws. Okay. This Miles kid is a dirt bike racer? Is dirt bike racing even cool anymore if you're not a stunt person? I mean, isn't that like so like 1999? I mean, at least where I'm from, we did that in 1999. We dirt biked. But, you know, I mean, 1999 was almost 20 years ago, so I didn't think it was still popular. Thomas Jane has no character development to him either, and the character of, I don't know his name. I don't know anybody's name in this movie. Okay, there's this character that's antagonizing the Becky G and the main dude, and he's there. It's weird. It's like such a sudden shift in character motivations. He's kind of likable, and then he just becomes an asshole for no reason. Like, oh, well, there's that. These villains in this movie are some of the worst villains I have ever seen. Oh my god, this is what the villains do all day. They just sit somewhere behind the scenes at a computer and are just like, all right, well, let's just see what he does. They don't even come out of hiding. I'm okay with that. Why is Emperor Palpatine so menacing in Star Wars? He's Senator Palpatine. He's acting as a Senate member. He's acting as a good guy while he can do all his dark side Sith stuff in the background. And then he reveals himself as the Emperor, but he's also got guys on the front line that can get the job done for him, like Darth Maul, Count Dooku, General Grievous, Darth Vader. That's what makes the Emperor menacing. What makes Andros menacing in Star Fox. The fact that you keep hearing about how Andros was this scientist who went mad, and he blew up half his body, and he went into hiding on this planet called Venom, and he finally reveals himself, and he's only this floating head and hands, and you have to fight him. That's what makes characters behind the scenes menacing. Sitting at a computer in an abandoned warehouse somewhere does not make you menacing. That's all they do. They're just like, okay, well, let's just see what he does. All right, do that. Click that key. Okay. They don't leave. They don't leave, ever. This guy is the main villain, and then he's just like, he captures the main two, and he's like, yeah, well, this is my hideout. It's like, so you're never going to leave your hideout. And then there's some stupid government military plot thrown in there, and the end tries to be really sentimental and emotional, and it doesn't fly because the movie isn't that great. There's no characters. There's no emotion. These actors are not that great. This is a very bland movie with terrible, ham-fisted performances. Very little character development, if any. Military subplots that go nowhere. Villains that have no motivation and are very bland and cannot even come out from behind the scenes to be menacing. This movie is one of my least favorites of the year. The dog is honestly the best part, and he's not even that great. That's the sad part. I'm going to give A.X.L or A.X.L or whatever the hell it's called, I'm just going to call it ass, a D-. Yeah, this is in contention for worst of the year. It'll probably make it. Guys, thank you for watching my review of Ass. You can check out some other reviews I will be having coming your way this week, getting back into the fold. You guys are the best. My name is Alex Madden, a certified G and a bona fide stud.